Hello, I'm Elgato and welcome back to an episode of my Minecraft Xbox Update Adventures Let's Play. This is the Let's Play where I've been playing through the various updates that have come out for Minecraft on the console, building stuff, killing stuff, and of course, destroying stuff. And today, I'm going to be doing a little bit of building that actually comes from the resurrection of a previous structure. I had a wooden mansion here, and now I have what looks more like it's like a, an ATAP, but it's a wooden mansion. It's a work in progress project. I'm having a lot of fun building it. It's been like half in streams and sometimes in the Let's Play, so we're going to be doing that for a little bit today because I want to show what's going on, and truthfully I just really wanted to work on it. And then the second thing we're going to be doing is I wanted to show off one of the most amazing things I found in this world. I went exploring and I found one of the most amazing natural generation phenomenons, and I want your opinion on what I should do with it because I thought it was pretty crazy, and I wanted to, again, the Let's Play, like I said this before, I'll say it again because I genuinely believe it, but the people who like comment and are generally active with Let's Plays are, the cooler part of subscribers in my opinion. Like, there's less people who are just like here to, I feel like the people here actually want good things for myself, for the Let's Play, and for each other. And I don't know, it's just a nicer community in general. Because on the general videos, you find people who have never watched a Minecraft video or never watched a Toy Cat video before. But generally speaking, the Let's Play is watched by, again, people who are familiar with what's going on here. And I find that makes it more fun. It's like a more friendly crowd. It's the difference between when you go out in public. Like, yeah, in public, there's a lot of great people. I really like, for instance, normal streaming because you find a lot of great normal people. But then, one in every 100,000 people might be a murderer. I mean, I don't know if that's the numbers actually. It's probably a bit more, or actually, yeah, it's probably a bit less than that. But my point being is, but I know here that it's 0 in every 100,000 people, so it's more like a friendly gathering. Please don't murder me, by the way. I'd really appreciate. One of my favorite things in the world is not being murdered. So if you could do that for me, I'd really appreciate it. So yeah, well, what we're doing today is we're gonna be working on the wooden mansion, like I said. Then we're gonna just go and show you the most amazing thing. And I have some obsidian with me, not randomly, because I want to make a portal there because it's how about I just give you a tiny bit of a spoiler? It's actually a really amazing combination, like a crossover of, or not crossover, but they're in the really, really close to each other. A jungle, a ocean monument, and a wooden mansion. Like the jungle goes over the mansion, and I don't know why I'm doing it with it because I have a mansion that I'm already busy making here. But I wanted to at least mark it on my map and like have it be a place, and I wanted to show you it for the first time today because again, I've been doing a lot more just random stuff in the Let's Play world, and it made me pretty happy when I found that for the first time. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope you all enjoy it. So let's get straight into talking about what I've been up to this past week because if you don't recall, so actually I'm recording this like a day early because I'm going to the mainland Europe for a day, and also I booked a pretty big flight, so I've always wanted to go to Asia in some form, like Asia's really far away. I've only, even though I've been to like 23 countries or something, I've only ever been to like Europe and then a little bit of North America, and I've always wanted to see like what's in the crazy parts of the world. So I think my New Year's resolution next year is going to be like, let's try and visit every continent besides Antarctica, because screw Antarctica, it doesn't count as a continent, at least not for like the purpose of travel. So yeah, I figure like it'd be kind of cool, like yeah, let's try and visit them all. So I'm going to start with like Asia, and I'm going to go. I booked a trip to Singapore, and it's like it's most of all I can think about this next week. I'm like, I've got to like do a bunch of like working out, like where am I going to get a place? Because honestly, I've actually come to realize something. You can pretend that you shouldn't put any effort into like doing something as big as like, I don't know, a trip or something, but the truth is that like you'll always suffer if you do literally nothing. So you gotta do like somewhere close to nothing to get the ideal thing. But yeah, I've got to work out like where I'll stay and stuff. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. It's gonna be a big thing. I want to vlog it because it's gonna be like the nicest flight I ever take, or the longest flight I ever take too. It's gonna be a scary thing, but I'm like really looking forward to that, and I wanted to share that because again, Let's Play is like kind of like a mix between Let's Play, vlog, podcast. Yeah, I actually like that. Like, it's a good opportunity to just talk about other random things that I've been thinking about this last week, because one of the big things, I forgot what even triggered this in my head. I haven't heard a story like this recently, but one of the big things in this past week is the whole idea of how humans form judgments on stories, right? Because okay, I'll spill the beans. It's always upset me ever since childhood, I guess. There's this whole concept of like sometimes people decide to believe some. Okay, so if you tell a story and someone tells a conflicting story, people have to decide who they're going to believe. Are they going to believe you, or are they going to believe the person that says something the opposite of yours? And that's not, I know, that's not the craziest thought in the world. Like, oh wow, how did you think of that, so I get? But no, it is something that like has always been in my head, that like somehow people have to decide who they're going to believe. Like, are they going to believe one person or the other? Because sometimes when two stories don't match up, one of the two people is lying, or at least a lot of the times actually it's just that their stories don't overlap because you see things differently, but sometimes there is just a straight up lie, and people have to decide who is lying and who is telling the truth. And I don't know how people exactly decide that in their heads. But one of the interesting things I've always found about how people do that is the fact that like everyone seems to have this same basic principle, whether you know it or not, that like you generally believe the person who tells you something first. This is one of the most weird, like, I guess, loopholes in our brain, but it's the same reason. If you're ever like if you're ever in danger, or you're ever like in trouble, or you get assaulted or something, you're always meant to report it to the police, because then the police know that if you tell them something's happened again, they've got like evidence that it's happened once, and that therefore you're probably not making up a wild story. So yeah, if you expect something unlikely is going to happen to you, if you like report evidence beforehand, then when there's like a conflicting story, you're like up ahead. It's just one of those tiny things that's like, yeah, that's weird that that's how things kind of work. Also, we've got to get up here, so I guess if we're going to have a window here, then we'll jump up from here upwards, because I want to cover the top with some blocks. Yeah, I've always found it weird that like one of the big things in a story is not necessarily having the better story or having the more realistic story. It's down to like who tells the story first. And again, you can see this in like the most basic form of like when you have a friendship group and two of the people in the friendship group get together and then break up. Whoever tells the story about the other one being worse first, they're the one the group loves, and they're like, oh, how could you do that to them? And again, that's generally happened to me directly once before, actually, which is kind of weird. Even like, I know it's something I hear a bunch though, that like that's a really, really wildly common story, that just you can kind of, being first to a story almost makes more sense than being right or having a better kind of story angle. And it's something I've been thinking about a lot this week, because it kind of shows how flawed the human decision-making process can be sometimes. Like, and I know like I feel like a lot of what I talk about is just like, wow, aren't humans terrible at this, and this too? But no, it's one of these things where I feel like it's important to know like, what our strengths are as humans, and then what our weaknesses basically are. And I feel like our weaknesses is like trying to work out a story, and I realize that because of that, that's the reason why we have like a court system decided the way we do. If you don't know, we have if you live in a free country, if you're not in North Korea or somewhere like North Korea, then there's a basic presumption in the law that you're innocent until you're proven guilty, right? Like if you commit a crime, you can't be like the law, you can't just be sent to prison. It has to be proven that you committed the crime. I can't just say, hey, you watching this video right now, that's right, you Jack. Yeah, you're a Jack watching this probably. I mean, there is a Jack watching this. I think you stole from that store you were just in. You're like, what? I didn't steal from the store. And I'm like, no, you definitely did. And like, if I can't just say that, I have to back that up with evidence. Wait, I made a mistake here. I made a horrible mistake again, because that's only 3 wide at its widest point, and it's meant to be wider. So where's the mistake? Let's work it out. So it's 2, 2, 2, and then 4, and then 1, 2, 2. What? How did I do something wrong here? Oh, this is only 1 wide, that's why. Okay, so we remove that, and then we have a thing here instead of there, and then now this is 4. Oh no, this is 5 now. So I made the mistake somewhere else too. Oh, it's also okay. So I made a double mistake, which is pretty embarrassing, but it's okay. We've worked out the double mistake, and now everything's okay. But yeah, basically, you can't just say that. Like, it's not that you just say someone committed a crime and then it's like, well, clearly it happened. The way there's like an innocent to proven guilty, and you have to go through a whole process. And this even means that there's a lot of cases where we know someone committed the crime, but even if we like all know in our hearts that they did it, we don't convict them until we can prove the phrase is beyond reasonable doubt that they did it. And I think that's fascinating that we have to do that, because the reason that the reason we're willing to let people go, another one that I find fascinating is that if police commit a crime to get evidence that you committed a crime, so even if I killed, let's say I kill you, Jack, yeah, that's right, I'm sorry, Jack, I'm coming to kill you tonight. If I kill you and then there's no way to find me out, but the police somehow do something illegal, let's say they break into my house at night and, they find my diary entry. But if they haven't, if it's against the law to break into my house and steal my diary, even though the court can then prove, with this, stolen evidence that, wait, he really did do it. He wrote it down as, so, I don't know, he made a video of it. It's crazy that the way the law will work then is that you can't convict based on that, which is I don't know, I think it's fascinating that we have that kind of thing of just protection from people randomly thinking something has to mean that you let genuinely guilty people go free just to make the precedent straight. But and then a part of me says, that's really kind of cool that as a society we can do that. It's really easy to just come together and I don't know, just randomly say you don't like someone, and that's what society does all the time. If you look at the internet, it's literally that. There's only 2 emotions you can bond around the internet. There's love and hate. You know, there's like the strongest forms of emotion. You might think like, oh yeah, but puppy videos are cute too. Puppy videos are kind of cute, but you don't share a puppy video as much as you share, you know, like, I don't know, the fact that this guy committed a murder and how is he free, or this guy did this terrible thing and he's free. And I know, it's an interesting thing to me that like the internet kind of shows why we have to do that, but then like it's also just a fascinating little like almost loophole that like not even loophole, but just a sacrifice we all make to make that sort of thing. And it's something that I've been thinking about a lot because again the faultiness of human memory is something that strikes me just all the time. Like sometimes it's not even like human memory that's bad. Sometimes I'll literally just be thinking, also should I make this ceiling out of dark oak? I probably should. I guess so. Yeah, actually, oh jeez, we'll work on these windows first, actually, I think. Because I've got some glass panes, so we'll do that now. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, I think it's kind of cool that we have that, like, also, this is only 3, oh, no, it's 4 wide. It's just I'm missing a thing there. But there's this, oh no, does this not line up? Okay, it does line up. I don't know why I got scared about that. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I think I think it's always fascinating when you have, like, these kind of things where it's like, to protect people from themselves, you have to do sometimes, like, not bad things, but things which seem bad on the surface and, like, set up something bad. Because I think, I sometimes think about, like, how the world is moving, and I really feel like the big conflict in the world, the big thing that will have to be settled at some point is, you know, people with, I don't know, like, absurdly, like, I don't know, not IQ, but, like, I guess intelligence to some extent, and low intelligence. Because we now live in a world where, like, if you know how to use a computer, you're instantly, like, significantly more productive and able to do more for people than someone who doesn't know how to use a computer. And it's not that you have to be smart to use one. It's that you have to be smart to, like, teach yourself to use one. It's kind of like, I always have this fear that, like, so if I didn't know English as my first language, I wonder, would I have learned it? And I probably wouldn't have learned it good. Like, I sometimes see, like, people on the internet who are like, oh, I'm not speaking English so great right now, it's not my first language, and they speak, like, perfectly, you know, like, basically as good as me, and it's like, they can speak 2 languages, you know, I can speak just the one language. If I had to learn one just to do any, you know, real thing online, I don't know if I could do it. Like, this, I wouldn't be able to be a YouTuber, because I'd be like, hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and welcome back to, I don't know what accent I'm doing, I'm sorry, every accent turns to Indian, you know it, but yeah, it's just something I think about a lot. Another thing I think about a lot, because again, I guess the intelligence thing, like, sometimes rolls up in my head. So we're actually going to use the birch planks and some carpet, and we're going to, like, finish layering down the bottom layer. Oh, and we also need more dark oak logs for the ceiling, because that's not quite done yet. So where are the dark oak logs? I have just 1 chest filled with them, and I can never find it when I want to. It's like, okay, well, you know what, this will do. 64, close enough. But yeah, one of the other things I'm thinking about on the same, like, whole level, like, oh yeah, so there's this weird thing where, like, some people really, really believe, the people who think they're best at something are the people who are not best at the thing. And that's because of a thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect, if I'm not mistaken. That, like, the people who always think they're the very best at a certain thing are the people who inevitably don't know how to do it. Because if you're not good at a skill, you don't know how bad you are yet to be. Like, to know that you're bad at something, you need to have a minimum level of skill. So when you first get into something and you can't even spot your own mistakes. And I find it fascinating that, like, that's really good for you living in the bubble of, like, would it be great to just believe that you were the best at everything? Wouldn't it be the best to believe that, like, I could speak the best English? Although sometimes, okay, so just speaking of, like, I'm going to Europe anyway, I said, whenever I go to certain countries in Europe, it seems like Germans compliment me the most, but, like, there's, like, some people are just like, you speak such clear English, it's perfect. And I'm like, ah, yes, I try so hard in my English speaking. And I wonder if I would appreciate that more, though, if I had, like, oh, I was going to throw away diamonds instead of string. I wonder if I'd, like, appreciate compliments like that more if I had to learn English from scratch, or if I appreciate them more because I don't, you know? Like, I don't know, like, is it better to be complimented on a natural talent or on something that you've learned yourself, that you've taught yourself? And I never actually have an answer to this question. I'm always like, I guess really depends on what the thing is. Because, for instance, my YouTube channel, really any YouTube channel growth, I don't know how you grow a channel in 2017. People think, oh yeah, you leave comments on other people's videos telling them how to subscribe. That's 100% it. That never works. No, what the thing is though is because I feel like YouTube, for the longest time, anyone had a fair chance of getting into search results. Anyone had a fair chance of this and that. But nowadays, YouTube really doesn't seem to favor personalities. I think, honestly, if I'm being truthful, I think since a bunch of controversies came out. Think about PewDiePie and Zoella. I think YouTube doesn't want to have big name creators because they always eventually, you know, even if they promote them, even if they're big guys, they always eventually do something terrible. Like PewDiePie was the face of YouTube for a while, and then like, oh no, he's upset everyone by doing this and that, and you know, let's not talk about the thing that like or whatever it is. That's a controversy. I don't care about drama or whatever. But I think it's interesting that like maybe that's the reason why. Maybe the reason most YouTube channels stay pretty static in terms of growth is because we have to place these down underneath there. Because I think I'm missing some. Yeah, I am. But yeah, I wonder sometimes if like the reason YouTube stays kind of static in terms of growth, because you might say like, oh no, it's just you, Toy Cat. Like your channel's still growing, and some channels are still growing. But like in terms of like videos, if you want to get like a homepage spot with like 50,000 or 100,000 or how many views, you have to like slowly work up there. Like I feel like no channel uploads their first video and it's a hit anymore. You have to like grind at it, and then eventually you find a video that makes it. Like the one exception to this is like my third channel, where I had a Fortnite video that got like 50,000 views all of a sudden, because like it was just happening to be searched. But like that's a rare phenomenon on YouTube these days. Also, I don't think those are meant to be there. So yeah, we've done just about as much as we can do without confirming how we're going to do these windows. I haven't quite confirmed that yet. So I guess let's move off and let's start flying. Or actually, maybe we should go to sleep first. Maybe we should bring a bed with us. Actually, we'll just go back for the Nether. We'll work this out later. So we're going to start... Oh, no. Oh, God. So we're going to put our stuff away in a chest, because maybe I want to grab some other stuff. At the very least, I don't want to use these planks and stuff in the wrong place. And then we're going to go fly over to the magical place of Woodland Mansions and Ocean Monuments, because it's in the very corner of my world too. It's like this perfect combination of so many things in my Let's Play world. Like this would be an amazing little Seed Sunday thing, but it's here in my Let's Play world. I don't know. That makes me feel cool whenever it happens. Oh, but yeah, back to my point that I was making. I was making something point about like, yeah, I feel like the whole YouTube thing, it's so much harder to like get something done. So like, should I be, when someone says, Toy Cat, you've done a really good job growing a channel from, you know, I think it was 1,000 subscribers in June of 2012, and now 5.5 years later, 828 or something. You know, like it's over 828 times big. Or yeah, let's just say 800 times bigger or whatever. Like that's really impressive. Like most people, they give up before that time, and most of the people that I remember from way back when, it's kind of like one of these tragic things. Like a lot of the guys that I remember did YouTube as a hobby back then, or did YouTube and even start doing full time. They just kind of vanished ever since, because again, YouTube is like a limited time thing usually. Even me being at the point where it's like 5 years is like, seems like it's beyond the average. Anyway, but going back to my point, I'm saying a lot of things about YouTube. I'm sure you know all these things. I'm sure you don't want to even hear me talk. Oh, another ocean monument. Wait. There's an ocean monument on the way to the ocean monument too. I have so many ocean monuments apparently. Like, geez. Too many ocean monuments, I would wager. But yeah, it's quite a fly away. That's why it's going to take some time. And in the meantime, yeah, I can just kind of say that, like, I feel like... I always wonder if on the debate of, like, should you be happy with things you've done or things that you naturally got? And I guess it really depends on the thing. But personally, I'm... Okay, oh, here we go. So look at this. We have a jungle, pretty big jungle. Then we... No, I'll finish my fort first. Then we'll... I'll just stand here. You know, we can do that. But, yeah, I feel like you should be more proud of the things that you've achieved, because then that gives you motivation to do more things. And I think the only thing we're ever doing as humans is doing things. I know that sounds ridiculous, but, like, the reason, in some ways, that you take all these breaks and that you have fun doing these things is so you can do more stuff. If you ever tried, like, just doing nothing for 2 weeks, like, nothing productive, just, I'm gonna eat, play video games... not even play video games. Playing video games like you're getting something done. I like that. That gives you a good feeling. But I'm just going to eat, watch TV, and then I'm going to eat some more. Then I'll take a nap. Then I'll wake up, I'll eat, and do nothing. You know, you want to do more stuff. So I feel like if you're proud of the stuff you've done, it makes you more likely to... You know, it makes you feel better about the stuff you've already done. And that probably gets some stuff done. I don't know. I said stuff a lot. So, yeah, this is my second Woodland Mansion in this world. Most large worlds. Actually, I don't know if most large worlds. Maybe they increased the number since the last time I did that, and that's why this is here. But still, we found a random Woodland Mansion. It's in the very, very corner of the world. But here's the cool bit. As well as having a huge jungle next to it, we've also got an ocean monument over there somewhere. I thought it was over there. I must have imagined it. Wait, let's check. Is it over here? We've also got an ocean monument just over here. So, based on my abused Nether Portals video, which might not have been uploaded because there's been so much news lately, so let's assume you've watched that video that may or may not exist yet. Basically, I want to be really careful with my first portal placement. I could place it on the Woodland Mansion, but then it would always be far to get to the ocean monument. I could place it on the ocean monument, then it'd always be a little bit further to get to the Wooden Mansion. So I think what I want to do, though, is I want to place it on top of the mansion. Yeah, I want to place it on top of... Actually, I want to have it on top of a jungle tree, just because that'd be kind of cool, right? Because if I have it on top of a jungle tree, then I remove the jungle tree, I think it'll still spawn in the sky. I'm not sure how that works, actually. But we've got to pick a place quickly. It's going to be somewhere high up, because then we can go from low down to up here really easily. And I'm really thinking just here at the edge somewhere. So I can easily, like, I'll break a hole in the wall over there later if I need it. But then I can also easily get to the jungle, chop that down, regrow it or whatever. And that'll be kind of fun. So yeah, this place right here, facing the sunset, it's going to be my portal. I can make a big portal, but I don't know if I want one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to make a big full-size portal, by the way. I'm fancy like that. I'm going to treat myself. It's a rare sight to get a portal this big, but you know, I think I can do that. And then I've also got the ingredients for one of these. Let's do this. So where about in the Nether does this even take us? Because half the challenge here, like, I want your ideas on what we should do with this place. I don't want to do anything with it yet, because that's, again. But look, we're that close to the corner in the overworld, in the thing. So, yeah, basically, I want your ideas on what we should do with a joint mansion slash ocean monument, because I feel like there's some great idea that I don't see right now. So I want to hear your idea. Oh, gosh. We're going to die. Like, almost with certainty, it seems. Oh, God, they're firing at me still. Oh! I'm not sure where from, but I want to get away from them. Okay, so we're going to crouch, because we're, like, going over edges here. And we're going to go this way, because that's the way I took to get to the Nether. So that's the way we'll take to get back. And as long as we don't make a hole in the floor, we'll be good. And yeah, that whole journey that took us, like, some ungodly number of minutes, right? Let's show you how many minutes it takes to get back. See, I actually did that quite well. Go me. So we're going to mine to the right a block. Actually, you know what we should just do? Let's just do that. Fill in the block. And now we can keep going. Pro tip, if you want to have straight tunnels, which is important, I guess, then that's the thing you can do there. But yeah, I sometimes wonder about, like, what is, like, the end gratification in the world? And I feel like there's no answer to that question, right? But, like, everyone thinks there's an answer to the question, and everyone's pursuing their own answer. And I think that's kind of wonderful in its own little way. Because, you know, sometimes I spend a lot of time thinking about a lot of different things. And I sometimes wonder, like, if I set my mind to it, I obviously can't. You know, this is like, you know, what if I think real hard, can I stop time? Which I genuinely used to believe at one point, like, that maybe I had superpowers and I could unlock them. Like, I was, like, 15 by the time I stopped believing that. I'm, like, like, not very seriously, but, like, semi-seriously. Like, it was an option. Like, life was sad, so I believed I had superpowers. But, basically, where even is our thing? It's random. Oh, God. But basically, I think it's kind of interesting that, like, everyone has their own impression on what, like, the goal is. And everyone thinks their goal is right. But somehow that still leads to a world where everything gets done, everyone is feeling great, gets their own stuff done. And I think that's kind of interesting, fascinating, and wonderful in its own little way. So now we can mine up here, make a little staircase, if you will. Just mine all the way up. And now we've got a link between the two wooden mansions. We could probably make it faster if we wanted to. Like, we make a big staircase up or a ladder or something. Oh, hello, friend. How are you doing there? See, look at this. Based on the minecart video, you might be like, when are you ever going to see a minecart trapped in one place? Or say a gas trap in one place? There's the answer. But yeah, I know. It's one of those things that makes me feel like kind of chill when sometimes it's like stressful. Like, what does anyone ever do? And I sometimes think like, what if I could work out the answer? What if it's inside me? You know, what, like a superpower or like the Matrix or something? What if I'm the hero? And I think it's good to believe that. Not like get egomaniac or megalomaniac. There's a word for it, but not to get like, you know, like too egotistical about it and think like, yes, I'm the savior. Bow down to me, I'm the best. No, you shouldn't ever be like that. But I feel like, what if the answer is inside you? What if the secret, the thing? See, look how short this journey is. It's crazy how short it is in the Nether. Oh, we need to go to sleep first though, so we'll do it a few more times just for fun, just so we get used to it, you know. And then we'll fly back. Like it's one firework. That's how we measure these distances. One firework from one to the other. And that's pretty insanely close if you ask me. But yeah, I know, I feel like it's good to believe that you're the secret, the answer, whatever. Because, I mean, if that allows you to live a better life and then interact with people. You know how I said earlier, we designed these systems? Oh, look how many Endermen there is there. Like, what? Why did, like, 15 creepers... I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try and kill... Oh, God. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. How many creepers can we fight up at once? Okay, come on. Oh, gosh. The skeleton's involved, too, now. Okay, we got this. We got this. Oh, gosh. Okay, the creeper might have killed the creepers. Oh, God. What just happened? I didn't get any of that gunpowder, which is what I was going for. And, yeah, that was a crazy little thing about the spawn engine. Let's fly over to the Woolen Mansion, though. That's what I'm really here for, because I want to go to sleep. And I want to mention that, yeah, I feel like we have systems that are designed in the way they are, so that no matter how people are, no matter how irrational people let themselves get, the system will always limit your ability. You know how in America people always talk about checks and balances? I believe that's like a similar system. Like, I think whoever thought of that system had that. I don't know what they had in mind. It was probably something ridiculous. They didn't know how things would go. It's the same with, like, Bitcoin, actually. Like, Bitcoin was designed by, like, some Japanese dude in 2008. And somehow it survived to this day and become, like, you know, new digital gold. But it's the same rules from back then, because you can't change the rules about, like... You know, setting the rules so that they can't be changed is sometimes, like, a really tactical thing. Because... Do I want to go here? No, I want to go back through the Nether, don't I? And go check out the thing so you can give ideas. But sometimes changing the rules is a good idea, and sometimes, like, constraining the system's a good thing, because then no matter how bad the crowd can get, things can go well. And if the crowd gets good, then things can go good. The big thing we've always had throughout history, the big problem we've been trying to solve, I'd say, is, like, how do you organize a society, you know, like, literally billions of people at this point? How do you make the systems that they live in, you know, everyone's born in a country in the world, and therefore, like, different organizations between countries. How do you make that system so that everyone does things which are both good for themselves, or so that everyone does things that are good for themselves, because most people do that by default, but then they're also good for the whole group? That's the big question, I think, that we're trying to answer, and there is no correct answer. That's why I guess politic debates exist, because people think they have an answer, even though most people are probably wrong. In fact, I'd say that's not even, like, controversial, right? Like, most people are just wrong about what the right thing is because they're thinking about themselves. But then you've got to make the system where you decide the system set up in a way that it's a good system. And I know that sounds really crazy, but that's kind of how the world works. And that's how we've ended up in a situation where we have, like, the most prosperous... you know, life right now is the most prosperous and good that it's ever been through humanity's, like, 10 million years. I don't know how many years we've existed, actually. I think it's 300 million years since we stopped being fish, but I don't think you can call humans humans because they're not fish. But, you know, it's been like millions of years, if not thousands of years, or I think it's like 6,000 years by even by the, you know, the Bible standards. But when you think about, even if you believe 6,000 years or 600 or whatever it is, that's still a lot of years. That's like many, many years. You can believe it's a genuine belief that the universe started like last Thursday. Look it up sometime. Last Thursdayism. But even to keep even like throughout all of that time, this is the best time ever to be alive, and I think that's cool. And I think it's not mentioned, but it's something that should be. It's just a wonderful little thing you can add to the world. And I think to go all the way back, the reason we have those systems that sometimes let people we know did something bad go free, is because that is the price you pay for a system which isn't corrupted and which doesn't send innocent people to prison just because people don't like them. Because not being likable shouldn't be a crime. And I think it's kind of cool that we can collectively make that sacrifice just because there are enough people defending a system. And no, systems is a crazy thing. But the big question you have to answer is, how do you make all humans do individually good things that are good for everyone? And whatever we have right now is technically the best answer we've ever had. And yeah, that's just something fun I wanted to throw out there. Hopefully you'll enjoy the video. Hope you got something from it. That was just the question on my mind this week. If you have the answer to the question, feel free to leave it down below. But what I'd much prefer is the answer to the question of, what should I do with this monument this close to a mansion? I'm thinking of making an undersea tunnel. I think that'd be kind of cool, like make it out of glass and then sponge it up or something between the two. And that's like as far as my ideas go. But like sometimes the comments are like, that's an idea I would have come up with, but then better. So I'd love to read your comments. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoy the Let's Plays as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a nice day, everybody. Goodbye. Oh wait, turn on notifications so you can see these videos. I say that enough. I think you believe that I'm being genuine at this point. Like, liking the videos is just one of these things where it's like, maybe that helps. Turning on notifications is just like the way to get things. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Have a great day, and a great 200 million years. Goodbye.